Hi guys, what's up? What is up? Hi, Happy New Year! Hello, hello, hello. I am back, but differently this time around. But before I go on yapping away, if you haven't subscribed to my page and you're watching me for the first time, please subscribe to my page, guys. I am back. I am. How do I put this? Okay, let me start from here. First of all, I'm not going to do much editing to my videos going forward. It's just going to be me showing up the way I am. It's going to be more chill, more laid back, just talking, saying what's on my mind. This thing is just saying what's on my mind and having you guys comment your own thoughts. And basically, just that. I don't want this to be too structured to a point where I cannot show up because I'll speak more to that. But welcome back to my channel. It is now Life with Bernice, and no longer she speaks Jesus. I'm still speaking Jesus. I'm still faith based. I'm not deviating from there. But as you guys know, this channel it started from a very specific place, faith, questions, the deep desire to speak about meaning and all of that. And it's still very much a part of me, but this time around I am learning to just make this grow. I am learning to show up more authentic and just be myself and show up the way to the best of my ability. I think people would actually prefer you showing up the way you are, in relatable ways because honestly life is way different now for me. There's a lot going on, and I still want to show up. I still want to do this because I feel like there's a reason I started this, and I don't just want to put this to the side and never pick it back up. So here I am, guys. Happy New Year! It is so good to be back. So here I'm going to share about life. I'm going to talk about the lessons that I've learned because I've had a few or some quite a handful of experience and I've grown. I have seen Shege. I have kept the faith. I am healing. I'm more self-aware. I've had relationships. A lot has gone on and I just like to show up and actually talk about things, just have conversations. And as we go along, this page is definitely going to grow into something bigger, something different. So it's not just going to be like one way stream every time. I'm pretty sure I'm going to at some point talk about it's going to be family based. It's going to be um food, vlogging, travel, all of those things. But I am very patient to actually see this um what's the word now, change over time, develop, and just like be bright and beautiful, for lack of better words. So as I write in, I still have my laptop here and with me. I took down some notes. Honestly, I think another thing that I'm going to do this year is I'm not going to make my episodes long. It cannot be long because I do not have the time to sit down and edit long videos and all of those. So I'm going to pick up my phone like this. I have my microphone over here. Pick up my phone and just talk and upload. I try to make it as good of a quality as it can be, but I hope you guys can relate with me. I hope you guys like it. I hope you guys like the new version of all of this, and I hope you guys can yeah, engage with me. So the reason I actually came on here is to talk about New Year, new me. Guys, this is the first time I'm ever doing this. Usually, I would have like in my mind, like, okay, this is what I want to do for the new year. These are my goals. I just have it in my mind, but I don't like put pen to paper. I don't necessarily like sit down and write like, oh, these are my new year resolutions, and I have to like follow it. Right now, I'm looking for my fan because it's so hot. It is so hot. I cannot deal with how hot it is. I'm in Nigeria and it's hot here. So I have my fan over here. It's loud, but you're probably not going to hear the sound because my microphone is noise canceling anyway. So, all right, let's keep going. So yeah, new year, new me. As I was saying, I'm not one to actually sit down and make new year resolutions because I think sometimes they're very um, unrealistic and we're not able to like follow through with them. So I try to show up and be better in the new year and have goals just all in my mind. But this time around, um, it dawned on me that okay, let me start from here. Let me start from here. There's just a lot on my mind. I don't know what to say first, but let me start from here. Guys, 2025 was God, was a blessing, a painful blessing in disguise, if I could say. It was one of those very hard years, but by the time I got to the end of the year, I actually saw the reason for a lot of things because by the end of 2025, the emotions I was feeling was more of gratitude than pain. I think I just had this intense gratitude in my heart for the journey of 2025. 2025 is one of those years that I don't think I want to live it again, but I have lived it and I hope I have learned the lessons that it had to teach me, right? So, and I remember when I first started this is why in here. Oh my goodness. Go out. Shush. So, when I started the year, I got a word which was confirmed by someone else randomly. I won't say randomly. Well, he we're talking in the new year, and he confirmed the word that God had given to me, and I was like, oh, okay, that is really interesting. That is cool. So basically, 2025 was a year of victory for me, and during the course of the year and everything that was going on, I would take a pause sometimes and I'll be like, God, really? Victory? Victory? Like, I would be like so salty sometimes when I go through certain things. I'm like, is this really the victory you're telling me that this year is about? But by the time I got to the end of 2025, I could actually say that it was actually a year of victory. It was actually a year of victory. A lot of battles that I had to fight, mostly mental battles and emotional battles. And by the time I got to the end of 2025, I was feeling this intense gratitude. And, you know, anyways, so I've talked to you guys already about how I'm going to be showing up this year. It's going to be less rigid. It's going to be my delivery is going to be more chill, more laid back, and I hope that more people can relate to me. Because I want to show up, but to the best of how I can show up right now. So yeah. Anyways, let's go into the goals for 2026, guys. Majority of my goals for 2026 is me centered. I don't think this has ever happened like this before, but 2026 feels like a year where I really just want to pour more into myself. So, in a way, I could say be more selfish, but not in a negative way, but definitely be more selfish. I think I should just grab my laptop and put it on my lap, but definitely be more selfish. So, this year I am showing up more for myself. So, what is this going to look like? It's going to be me being more disciplined and sticking with structures and plans that I put in place for myself. That's what it's going to look like. It's also going to look like me facing my fears head on facing my fears and doing the hard things that I know that I need to do. Sometimes I feel like fear just hinders us from achieving the maximum um achieving the best that we could achieve for ourselves because we are scared, we have cold feet, we're like, can I really do this? What if you start doing it, and even if it gets hard along the way, just keep doing it, keep going, and as you go along the way, you figure out better ways of implementing or better ways of actually achieving that goal. So that's me this year. I'm going to face my fears head on, do the things that I have to do even though they're hard. There's a bunch of things that I need to do this year that are hard in quote, but of course it takes a lot of discipline, and that's why I said this year I'm going to have more structure, more discipline, and stick with my plans and the structures that I set for myself. Going forward, I am going to work really hard on adjusting my attachment style. Guys, I want to make a whole other episode on this. I think it's going to be the next one where I talk about attachment styles and how it affects us, and I'll actually talk about my own particularly. Maybe brush on other attachment styles and talk about my own and the one that I want to really heal from. So this year, I'm going to be very intentional about uh working on my attachment style to become even more securely attached than anxiously attached. I tend to be anxiously attached. Um, I am growing from it. I've seen that how I am growing from it, but it's still a reality that I even want to grow even more from. So I'm working on that this year. And then as an extension of that, I cannot speak English. I want to work on my concentration span. My concentration span has really been messy lately. Like I cannot concentrate on what I'm doing and get it done before I move on to something else. Sometimes I just ask myself, like, do you have ADHD or something? Like, can you just like focus on this? And like, it's like I have a bunch of things that I want to do, and then I'll just be going from like one thing to the other. So I want to learn to actually concentrate on one task, finish that task before I go on to the next thing. So I'm going to be working on my concentration span. I think it's funny for like to say like an adult has concentration issues. I think a lot of us adults actually have concentration issues, especially with social media and the bunch of things that we have to do: family responsibility, work, life. It's just a bunch of things going through your mind, at the same time. So anyways, I need to work on my concentration span. No doom scrolling or lurking passively on the net. It has to be intentional. So if I'm going to go on my Netflix, for instance, and watch a show, it has to be intentional. It has to be I'm just relaxing. This is my time to rest today, and I'm just watching not watching, I'm just watching an episode of my show, something like that. Because time spent on the internet we need to be intentional, because you really don't know how time just flies when you're on there. It's like you're watching other people live their life, you're intrigued by it. I think social media for me is more intriguing than distracted. I see people do a whole lot of things on the net, and I'm like, hold up a minute, what exactly is going through their mind, coming on and doing all those things that they're doing? So for me, I get very intrigued just watching people, and I'm just like trying to see the psychology behind why people do what they do and all of that. But before I know, time has gone, and it's just a waste of time at the end of the day. So I need to be more intentional about how I spend my time on the number. I don't know what number this is. I think it's number 4. Prioritizing my relationship with God. This should have been the first one, but usually we start from there. But I was literally just like writing this randomly, and this is when it came up during because of me taking notes. Prioritizing my relationship with God and my personal time with God, and um the study of the Word. 2025, guys, was quite distracting. It was it was quite distracting, and I feel like that personal relationship with God that I used to have when things were more settled and things were more mellow, things were more bearable for me, was kind of like hindered, or it was it got shaken, if I could say. So I'm trying this year. One of my goals is to work on my personal relationship with God, because I've realized, as I've lived life, I've realized that one thing will always remain constant in your life, and that's God. That is God. I have reflected and I've thought about how relying on a human being is one of the worst things you could ever do to yourself, because people unintentionally do not show up the way they had promised you that they will show up. But God shows up for you. God is always going to be there. When push comes to shove, at least I can go to God, I can cry, I can rant, I can take the anger to God, I can take the frustration to God. And there's this peace that God gives. That's why I need to prioritize my relationship with God. Things will fail, your wealth, your career, your life plans. We always have plans for ourselves, and we want it to go in a structured way. And life happens and it just goes zigzag. And with all those zigzagness of life, it could throw you off and it could make you feel very discouraged. So what I'm saying is, in essence, is my relationship with God has to be first, number one in my life. Every other thing comes next. Renew my relationship with God, keep the faith going, because one thing that I'll always have is my faith in God. I like I don't care what life throws at me. My faith in God will never waver. It will never ever change. I'll always have faith in God. So yeah, prioritize my relationship with God, make it even better. I know I was reading the word but I don't think I was doing it as good as I could have done it. So that is what I want to do this year, is make it much more better. The next thing I'm going to prioritize this year, one of my biggest goals this year, is my health. My health. So now I'm not going all hard on strict on myself when it comes to my health. Yeah, I'm going hard on strict on myself, but when I mean I'm not going all hard on strict on myself, I'm not going to like have this like um feeding plan or whatever. I think for me is I'm going back to intermittent fasting, because I remember that intermittent fasting was a very big part of my life 2024, and I know how I felt in my body. I felt lighter, I felt better. And just prioritizing my health by intermittent fasting, watching what I put into my body. So I think for me this year I'm doing less carbohydrates, more protein, more vegetables, and more organic foods and fruits. Honestly, I'm cutting out soda. I drank soda, I wouldn't say obsessively in 2025, but I drank soda more than I did in 2024. So this year I have actually decided that no more soda for me this year. I could drink anything else, but any fizzy drink is cut out. More water, right? I'm doing more water this year. I have my water bottle with me. Drink more water this year. And when it comes to working out, my schedule is different from what it used to be before. It's no longer as flexible as it used to be before, where I could wake up and go to the gym. Now I have to wake up and go to work, right? So, that notwithstanding, I still, oh my God, I still am going to wake up and go moving. So I think my priority when it comes to this is movement as opposed to intensity, is consistency and movement as opposed to the intensity. I'd like to go to the gym. I think I'm still going to be going to the gym, but I think this year I can only make it to the gym every week, 3 times a week. Every other day, I definitely cannot make it to the gym. So those days when I go to the gym, I would, yeah, do my resistance workout, lift weights, do my squats, do my back, and all of those. Every other day is just brisk walking, power walking, and just some aerobics in my own space. And I think I should be good with that, honestly. So when it comes to my health and exercising, this is what I plan to do: to just move. Try to do my 10K steps every day. If I cannot get it done in the morning, usually I complete my 10K steps in the mornings. If I cannot do it in the morning, I'm gonna do it. Oh my goodness. I'm going to do it in the evening when I get back from work and I've rested a little bit. Just go out into the estate and just walk, to complete my steps. Basically, light jogging, power walking, and all of those. And yeah, every other thing that I've not mentioned, is just because I've not written it down. I've not put pen to paper, but there's so much more to 2026 when it comes to my goals. There's so much more I do not want to talk about here because it's personal. And but yeah, this pursue my goals and achieve my goals. Do it in a way that doesn't feel too much of a duty as opposed to actually enjoying the process. I feel like when we do things in a way that we can enjoy it, we actually want to show up more, you know. So yeah, this is New Year, new me. If you could say, if you guys want, you can share your own goals, one or two with me. And I'm looking at myself in the mirror. Gosh, I look so gorgeous. You can share one or two with me in the comment section. I would like to hear from you guys. Like this video and follow me for more, and I am definitely back, guys. Please subscribe to my page. I am happy to see how this unfolds. It's just gonna be me picking up my camera, my phone, and just speaking and uploading the videos. Basically, less editing because I do not have a lot of time to edit. I enjoy editing is something I actually enjoy, but I don't have a lot of time to sit down and edit, and I don't want that to be a reason why I procrastinate on showing up and putting up videos. You guys follow me on my socials. I want to be more consistent with posting. um my TikTok is very mixed. It's just my life, work, and it's going to be more of this also. um my Instagram, my main page on Instagram, I may actually get that back on and running this year. It's been out of use, not out of use. I just this deactivated it for a while. I think I'm gonna reactivate that. Of course, it's She Springs. You find me on my socials, She Springs, or if not She Springs, it's gonna be Life with Bernice. And yeah, nice chatting to you guys. And also, I'm gonna this my videos are going to be shorter. um just drop nuggets, just talk about what I've learned, talk about what's going on in my head. That's basically what you're going to be getting this year, and I hope by God's grace I can show up to the best of my capacity. I love you guys, and I hope 2026 is good to us. I hope the uncertainties and the things that come out of nowhere do not throw us off balance, and we're able to handle it um, with the help of God. and for me, it is not a goodbye. It is, I'm going to see you guys soon again. Bye. Cheers.